Welcome class. The purpose of this video is to go over the final project. Here are going to be other links you're going to be able to see once you go through Canvas. You can see the zine project where I'm going over the materials that I'm asking you from the zine. I'm going to give you samples of the zine, some of my old work, past students cover pages, not acceptable zines, and also the final project when you're going to be turning it in. Where you're going to be turning it in is, here you're going to see the point system. It won't be open till next week. The reason I'm doing that is to allow more students to do a little bit more reading, get more ideas. What is the current climate? Given the current climate that was happening right now. For example, in a couple of weeks, I'll be reading about my migration. Also, how does those chapters help you with what's going on? You can use that in your zine. For example, all the protests that are happening right now, the things like what the ice ages are doing, what does it mean for family separation, and so forth. So these are some of the things you could use. Use the chapters that you've been using and bring them into life in your own work. So in going back, the first link, it'll direct you to here, where I'm going to be telling you more about what I'm asking for in the zine. So zine project is telling you a story, disrupted the narrative. So in terms of the work that I'm asking for is not to give me a lot of writing, like 5-6 pages, but also essentially making basically a booklet where it's very powerful, telling your own story. So I am asking for 6 pages of you creating your own original writing. You can use personal reflections, but also that's going to be part of your second page anyway. Poetry, arts, cultural analysis, interviews, and so on, right? The only one thing that I am asking for is that not to use other writings. I have students use a lot of AI when they bring other chapters that we have never read into your zine, but also not use your zine, right? And also I have gotten a lot of more work into recent classes about bringing religion. Just to let you know, this class has never been about religion, so please don't try to bring some of the chapters into this within religion, because this wasn't a religious class. So going over it, cover pages, it's going to be page 1. Create your own special design. Start with, right off the back with the boom, right? What are you trying to tell in your zine? Second is turning your own personal reflection. Summarize your engagement with the course topic, readings, overall learning journey. Consider what has challenged you and what inspired you. And the 3 pages that I'm asking for critical analysis when you're using 3 concepts that we have used in this class, right? So it's basically doing the IQs, but I'm not asking for 7-10 sentences. I'm give me at least 3-4 sentences, but also bringing some images in here. Talk about the climate, environmental climate that you're talking about, and so forth. Giving ideas, give it some color. And the last thing I am asking for is works cited page, and that's just going to be 1. And these are some of the links to give you guidance in terms of making the zine. For example, there's a video how to create a zine in Canva. Here's going to be a link to go over what is a zine. This link is how you want to use it to create a booklet or a book in Word. Here's another one in Wikipedia where it's essentially showing you how to do it in case you do it on paper. And here's 2 more videos going over zine. Now I'm going to go over some of the covers of my past students. So as you can see, they're very powerful, giving it a title and so forth. And here and this basically is giving you an example of a whole zine, right? So giving it color, giving it context, what are they speaking about in the current climate? So here it was a introduction to Latinx. So the students was talking about the Braceros and the Chicano movement, and as you can see towards the end, have a works cited page. That is very important. And here's more different covers. And again, this is all for you to see, so it's not just me just showing you and then you won't be able to see it again. So all this for you. This is some of my old work that I have done. I gave it a title, create the sound of the boom. So I'm talking about neoliberalism, talking about Reaganomics, but also what is challenge at where the sound of the boom is where I'm also talking the sound of LA, where Ice Cube, Kendrick Lamar, but also talking about the sound of the art, where I'm talking about graffiti art that I was used in the 80s and the 90s, very popular here in LA. Also different artists, right, like Santa Cecilia. Also different groups like Cafeteras from East LA. and also Residente. So this is where I was my own personal work, and I called it Persona Debut, and I did this on paper. One of the things I won't be accepting is something when somebody just put this in, turn it in, just off the back that I'm not gonna be able to accept this. Even if you do it on paper, like let's make it a little bit more. I can read some of this stuff, so let's just be good handwriting, just print it out and so forth, But going back to the project, I'll be opening again the zine next week. So if you want to give it ideas and so forth, let me know. We can create a Zoom meeting. And also, if you do turn things in early, I would go through, give you some guidance. Sometimes people turn it in, but are missing a couple of things, and I will guide you. I'm not just to make sure that you turn in zine right off the back, and then I'll fail you. That's not the way that I want to teach this class. I want to help you, create your own work, be happy with the work that you turned it in, and so forth. Any questions, just message me through via Canvas, and we'll go from there.